Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Green here from Florida, and tonight we're going to talk about aces on defense. I know a lot of us cannot lead an ace unless we have the king, but when we're defending, things take on a different turn altogether. Now, I'm going to I've already loaded up hand number 3, so I'll do hand 6 after that. Someone wants 6 early, I will do it after number 3 because I've already got 3 loaded for you. This is hand number 3, and we're going to talk about the bidding and the defense so we can learn from this. Okay, looking at these 4-4 fits, and without 15 to 17, we're going to open our longer minor, 1 club, pass, 1 spade, pass, and now I want to talk about a rebid, opener's rebid. When we do not have a diamond stopper, and we've got 3 to an honor in partner suit. Now, 1 spade could be a 4-card suit. You cannot rebid a no trump with a doubleton, diamond. So the worst is you bid 2 spades. You do not guarantee 4 spades, and I need everyone to know that. An unstopped doubleton just bid 2 spades. Now, why do I like 2 spades? Because it takes away all the bidding space from the opponent. And our minimum hand. I've shown my minimum hand. I'm in the minimum range. And now you're looking at a minimum range, and you should not be looking any further, and I think the contract should be 2 spades. Are there any questions on this bidding? It's very important, and I've said it so many times, that when you, the opener, make a first rebid of the suit partner bids at the 1 level, in a major, you never guarantee 4 pieces. You could have 3 and you have an unstopped doubleton. So are there any questions on this before we carry on? I'm in the minimum range, okay? Right, I cannot jump to 3 on a 3-card suit anyway. All right, so now we're going to get the lead of the king of diamonds. Top of a sequence because it's an unbid suit. The hearts and diamonds are the unbid suits. But I like to lead a card to tell my partner what I have. So I lead the king of diamonds, promising the queen. Now, West must be awake. I don't want you just to give partner the 8 and tell partner you like it. There's only 2 diamonds in dummy anyway. All they can do is take 2 diamonds. So I want you please to overtake the ace. Now, why would we overtake the ace? Because you want to tell partner, hey partner, I have a singleton. Anybody that leads a card into the king, the queen, and the jack, you can bet your bottom dollar that is a singleton. Follow your partner's defense. Why did your partner overtake that diamond and come back a club into the king, the queen, and the jack? Because partner wants to trump a club. And if you want to tell partner to find you again, obviously the 10 of clubs would be a heart, and the 3 of clubs would be a diamond. It's called a suit preference signal. Now, let me go back to suit preference signal. I know my partner's going to trump the king of clubs, but I want my partner to know if I play the 10 of clubs, I want a heart back, and if I play the 3 of clubs, I want a diamond back. You will trump it. And you'll come back a diamond. You win the 10. And now you'll play another club and give partner another ruff. And now we're going to beat this contract. We don't have to worry about anything else. We should just play the ace of hearts and be happy to beat this hand. And that is how we would play aces on defense. We've got a singleton. Make use of that king of diamond lead, showing the queen. With only 2 diamonds in dummy. I mean, if there were 3, you couldn't do it, but with 2, it was very easy. There's nothing to discard if they had the jack, so you might as well overtake that king. Now you've beaten the contract, and the rest are theirs. Okay, and they're going to go down 1. Are there any questions on this hand, everybody? Any questions? I'm looking in the chat. Any questions?
Yes, Linda, can you, we only got to 1 spade. I was, north.
Well, partner can't pass a new suit.
Oh, okay.
You can have up to 24 points. I had that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I had 23 points. My partner opened a diamond and I bet a heart and she passed me.
Okay.
And we missed a slam. And I said, how could you pass me? A new suit's forcing. Well, I changed my mind. I didn't like my hand. You could never pass a new suit by responder, ever, in bridge.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? That's why the stronger you are, the slower you go. Partner can never pass you out. All right, I'm going to do number 6 because I got a request to do it soon. And I will do it straight away. And this is where we're going to learn about defense. And how we're going to bid the hand on number 6. It's an interesting hand. Right. We have an opening hand in the east hand. So we're going to open 1 diamond, which is clear cut. Pass by south. Now, I want to talk about overcalls, everybody. I don't want you overcalling a heart when your spade might be a better lead. In other words, when I overcall at the 1 level, I categorically am telling my partner I have 2 of the top honors and I really want a heart lead, but I'm not sure I want a heart lead because my hearts are not so good and I've got the king of spades. So when I have king third in another major and only queen in the other major, I don't overcall. I wait to see what goes on, okay? So you pass. And our partner is going to bid 2 clubs. 2 clubs. Partner, I have a 4-card minimum suit and 11 points up. That is what 2 clubs means. And now you're not coming in at the 2 level on a 5-card suit. You need a 6-card suit to bid at the 2 level. You need 2 honors and a 6-card suit, so you pass. And why do we pass? We are in a forcing auction. They opened. The next hand showed at least 11 points and it's forcing. So let's not get busy. You don't know if you really want a spade lead or a heart lead, so just pass. And now partner on this hand is just going to bid 2 diamonds. I have a minimum hand and I have a 6-card diamond suit. If East had a medium range hand, East would jump to 3 diamonds if she was in the medium range, but she's in the minimum range. Remember, I gave you the ranges on Tuesday. This is a minimum range, 12 to 14. Now, you've got an opening hand opposite an opening hand, and you've got 2 suits unstopped. You have a diamond fit. It's no good. How are you ever going to get to the right game on this hand? You haven't got a heart stopper. You haven't got a spade stopper. Your other choice is to take a chance and go to 3 no trump. But I think knowing that partner also has only a 6-card suit, people have gone to 5 diamonds on the hand. And that's what people have bid because they're worried about the majors. Now, I want to talk about defense, everybody. This is where we're talking about aces on defense. It is standard lead to lead the 3 of hearts, 4th from the longest suit. Now, when you win the ace of hearts, everybody, you are not sure whether your partner led from the king of hearts or the queen of hearts. So looking at the dummy, we know those clubs are going to take care of everything. If you blindly come back a heart, they will make the contract. And how do we know what to come back? Well, you've got to help your partner. It costs you nothing to put down the ace of spades and see what partner gives you. We give an attitude on the ace. Now, the ace in the middle of the play denies the card behind it. We do not have the king. If we had the ace king in the middle of the play, we lead the king from ace king. So looking at this hand, if partner wanted a heart back and had the king of hearts, partner would throw the two of spades and say, no, partner, don't come a spade, come back a heart. But that is not to be. Partner's going to throw the seven of spades. That's a very high card. Dummy has the 8, and you've got the jack and the 10 and the 9. So follow your partner's discard. Partner's giving you an attitude signal. You know, partner, forget about the hearts. I really like the spade. And that is how we are going to defeat this contract. We come back to the jack of spades, and you'll win the king, and the hand will go down. But if you blindly come back a heart without testing what your partner has with the ace of spades, they're going to make this contract. Everything will go on all those clubs, and you will never see your two spades again. What are the questions, please? A lot of you wanted to know about this hand, and I'd like to know your questions on the hand. You can type it or you can ask. Any questions? No questions? All right. If you don't want to ask me a question, I'm going to go over this again with you. I want to make sure that we do not blindly return partner suit at the 5 level. When you see two aces and you're not sure what your partner led, it could have been from the king of hearts, and you're not sure. It costs you nothing to put the ace of spades on the table. And by the card partner plays, you will get a signal, and partner will signal you. If they wanted a heart, they would play the 2 of spades on the ace. So the 7 says, forget about the hearts, partner, come back the spade. Okay? Any other question? None?
Can you go over again the bidding, please?
The bidding, sure. The bidding was very difficult because you could go into 3 no trump. And if you go into 3 no trump, they're going to lead the jack of spades. So let me just show you basically why we got there. This is the bidding. 1 diamond, 2 clubs, 11 or more in a 4-card club suit. We don't know. 2 diamonds, guaranteed 6-card diamond suit, unbalanced, because if partner was balanced, partner would have bid no trump. And here you have 2 unstopped suits. How are we going to force to game having an opening hand opposite an opening hand? You can't put 2 hearts, you don't have a heart suit. You can't put 2 spades, you don't have a spade suit. How do we tell partner where we're going? So when I look at 2 opening hands, and I know that we've got at least 10 diamonds between me, just bid 5 diamonds, make sure we're in game. What else can you bid? It's very hard to get to no trump. But some people will bid no trump. And on the jack of spades lead, we have a huge problem. Because what would happen on the jack of spades lead if they played in 3 no trump? If we take away the 5 diamonds and we put them in 3 no trump by West, because that's what West would do if West wants to gamble in this game, and they got to make a lead from the north side, they're going to lead the top of an interior sequence, the jack. and it's going to go low, and it's going to go 7, and then we're going to win the next one, and it's going to go 10, and it's going to go low, and now you're going to put up the king, and it's all over, and we're going to take the first 5 spade tricks. It is a very difficult hand to get to 3-no. It's actually impossible unless you play a gambling game and say, well, I'm going to take a chance. That is why they bid 5 diamonds. Does that clear it up for you, Diane?
Well, when we played it, I was, what was I? I was east on hand 6. And what confused me was when you said that West responded 2 clubs. And so I thought that if you open 2 clubs.
No, you're not opening, you're responding.
No, but when you did the bidding, it was, let me see, 1 diamond and then 2 clubs by West. So I was kind of confused about that. But when somebody opens 1 diamond and you're third, 2 clubs doesn't mean strong 2 clubs.
It means you've got 4 clubs.
Just means I've got 4 clubs.
And
okay.
11 or more points.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I was confused.
And it usually denies a 4-card major.
Yes, of course.
Because we bid up the line.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Pleasure. Any other questions? Okay. Well, all right. We'll get on to hand number 4. I hope I helped you doing it early because one of you wanted to go. So I just did it earlier for you. And now we're going on to hand number 4. I'm looking at this hand. West must open 2 hearts. That is a week 2. It falls in line with perfect week 2 openings. It guarantees a 6-card suit, at least 2 of the top 3 honors. I like to be short in the other major. It's a perfect week 2 opening. Now let's talk about North's hand. North only has a doubleton heart. If North had 3 hearts, I might bid 2-no trump. And 2-no trump, which allows you to describe 15 to 18. And it may allow a hold-up play, but you can't hold up with a doubleton. So it's too dangerous to bid no trump. You're much better off to double. A double says I'm short in hearts and I can take any suit you bid. So looking at this hand, East passes, or maybe East might bid 3 hearts. I don't know if East would want to bid on this hand. They may further the preempt. East might bid 3 hearts. Some people won't. Let's say they pass, okay? Because you can't take the lead. I like to take the lead. When I bid 3 hearts, I want to have an ace or a king or something. So I'm going to pass the East. And now it's up to South to make a bid. Now, we've got to remember there's mini, midi, maxi with takeout doubles. We learned with takeout doubles that was 0 to 8, we bid the cheapest level. With 9 to 11, we jump the bidding. So we cannot bid 2 spades. We have to jump to 3 spades. A jump to 3 spades says, partner, I'm in the 9 to 11 range. Remember, 2 spades could be 0 to 8 points over a week 2 opening. So it's your duty to show that you've got points. It could be a 4-card spade suit. It never guarantees 5. Pass, and now you bid 4 spades because you've got a really nice hand and you're accepting the invitation. And that's where we're going to play in 4 spades, everybody. Let's talk about the bidding. If the bidding had gone 2 hearts, 2 no. If the bidding went 2 no, showing 15 to 18, South would bid 3 hearts, transfer to spades. Partner will bid 3 spades, and then South will bid 3 no trump. Choose partner. If you've got 3 spades with me, go to 4 spades, and if you've got 2 spades, leave 3 no trump. That is the other way you could bid this hand, but I don't advocate it with only 2 hearts on the hand. Some of you might have bid no trump, just to show your point count. And a stopper in the heart suit. Are there any questions on this board? On the bidding? It's really important that we understand how take out doubles.
Well, on our play, West didn't open.
Okay.
And North opened 1 no trump.
Perfect.
And South bid 2
hearts.
And then North bid 3 spades.
Super acceptance. I've got 4 spades and I've got the maximum of my no trump.
Yes, and then South bid 4 spades.
Perfect. Perfect bidding. That's called super acceptance. When you jump and not just bid 2 spades, you're guaranteeing 4 trumps and the upper limit of your no trump, 16, 17.
Yes, that's what we did.
That was good. Excellent. Okay. So now we're in 4 spades, and from this side though, and you're going to get the lead of the Queen of Hearts. It's standard. Now, if it got played from the other side for you, you lead the 2 of hearts, please. When you have 3, you always lead your lowest heart. Do not lead the 9. If you lead the 9, you're telling partner you have a singleton or a doubleton. So if you're on lead from the north hand and you have to lead, the east hand has to lead, always lead your lowest one to show 3 or 4. Never the 9. And there's no mud lead. If anyone learnt about mud, middle, up, down, it doesn't exist when partner opens a suit. Okay? When partner opens a suit. Middle, up, down. It's very important. Right. In the spade suit, we have no losers. In the hearts, we've got no losers. In the clubs, we've got 3 losers. And in the diamonds, we've got 1 diamond loser. That's 1 too many. So we've got to be really alert at the bridge table. So looking at this hand, let us play the hand and watch how East must learn how to defend with an ace. And we'll show you how. So if you play a low one and win the ace, it's fine. And if you win the king, we know you've got the ace. No one leads away from an ace on an opening lead in a suit contract. So we're going to win the king. And you play the 2. You've got 3. And you're going to draw trumps. We're not sure how they break. And we'll play another one and hope that they are 2-2, but I doubt it, but you never know. All right, they're not. Okay, well, there's nothing we can do about that. We'll play another one. And now, once we get back to our hand, our main priority on this hand, everybody, is to play the Jack of Diamonds, the high card from the short side first. The Jack. Because if it's the king is on your left, you want to stay in your hand. You don't want to play a low one to the queen. You play the Jack. And you play the 9. And they win the king. Now, you know, East, that your partner does not have the ace of hearts. We don't lead away from an ace in a suit contract. Looking at the queen, we're never going to beat it if we play the ace of clubs. If we play the ace of clubs, they're going to make the queen and we're going to just take the ace and the king. You've got to play what we've learned in the past. All of us have learned this in the past, and I'm going to go over it again. I'm going to put it in the chat in a moment. We play a low card that we like it. Bottom of something. It's called Boston. The 4 of clubs. We know those diamonds are going to take care of all the losers. Win the king and follow your partner's defense. When your partner played a low club, partner's telling you, I like it. Boston, B-O-S, bottom of something. If you played a high club, top of nothing. Come back, partner's defense. Coming back a heart's a waste of time. Play the jack. They don't play the queen. And you play the 7. And now you'll come back the 10. And this will defeat the contract. Playing away from that ace of clubs when the queen is in dummy. So I'm going to put in the chat again for a lot of people who have not been here. It stands for B-O-S-T-O-N. It's called Boston. B stands for bottom. O stands of. S something. That's what BOS stands for. And the top is T stands for top of nothing. I use this all the time we defend in bridge. If I come back a low card partner, I like it in the middle of the play. Low likes. If I come back a high card in the middle of the play, I don't want it back. Low likes. All the time. Think about it, everybody. I use it all the time. High hates in the middle of the play. HH. And that's what it stands for. Only in the middle of the play. Now, I've said before, if you leave the ace in the middle of the play, you cannot have the king. And that's what came up on the other hand, on hand number 3. Any questions, everybody?
Linda, when you played the Jack of Diamonds, you said the high card from the short
side, yes.
First, can you explain when to play that?
Well, the thing is this, if we switch the diamonds around and I put the king of diamonds in the west hand, I want to stay in my hand that I can finesse it again. But if I don't play the high one from the short side and I play the 5 to the 10, I've got to get a taxi back to my hand and the suit may get blocked. So it's always right to play the high card from the short side first.
When you're trying to unblock a suit.
Exactly. It unblocks many suits. You must play the high card from the short side first. Okay. And that's the only way we're going to beat this contract. I cannot play the ace of clubs. It'll give them the queen. So I've got to try and hope that my only chance to beat the hand is to underlead the ace and tell my partner, listen, partner, I like it. Boston. 4 says, low card, I like. Low likes. High card, hate it. Okay? I use it for everything in defense. Always. It's very good. Any other questions on that hand? Okay? All right. Don't forget, I'm here to answer lots of other hands too. This is your next one. Hand number 9. $17. I think we have to open this hand 1 no trump. Pass. And looking at this hand, you have a very good 5-card club suit. And you should treat this as 10 high card points because of the 5th club. And you should just bid 3 no trump. Never waste your time bidding minors. The less they know about your hand, the better. So there's no transfers, there's nothing. Whether it's diamonds or clubs, never tell people what you've got. It's not their business to know. Just bid 3 no trump and say, don't worry, partner, we've got an opening hand, a 15 count opposite 10. That's 25. We have enough for a game. And that's what we would do on this hand. Okay? Now, we always lead a major, and I'm going to talk about it, because there's no stamen. So when there's no stamen, I bend over backwards to lead a major, and the correct lead is the Jack of Hearts, top of a sequence. And now we're going to look at the hands together. West has to be awake. You're going to win the ace. And now you don't know whether your partner has the king of hearts, king, jack 10, or just jack 10. That you have no idea. He hasn't got the queen. That is definite. And you've got the ace. So he could have king, jack 10. But you don't blindly come back your partner's suit. Look ahead. Do you see that ace of spades in the dummy? Do you see the ace of clubs that you have to stop them running that long suit? You should play the king of spades to kill that dummy. You play the king of spades. They may not take it. You'll play another spade. Why did we play a spade? I'll tell you why. We want to kill that dummy. You've got the ace of clubs. They can't make all those club tricks. Your partner East has to give you the count. Now, we've spoken about an attitude. High, I like. Remember on board 3, when we led the heart and partner switched to the ace of spades? Partner through the 7. That is called an attitude. A high card, I like it, partner. Continue spades. But in this situation, we're going to learn about count. What is count? We need to know when to take that ace of clubs. They're going to play a little club. And you're going to play the 5. And partner's going to play the queen. And now you, East, knowing there's no entry to the dummy. No entry. It is your duty to tell your partner how many clubs are in your hand. A low card will show an odd number. I have 3 clubs or 5. A high club would say I have an even number, 2 or 4. So when they play another club, okay, you've got to count. Dummy had 5, you had 3 is 8, and partner had 3 is 11. That means they've got no more. You must win this trick. Because if you don't win this trick, they may make their contract and now they can run for their lives. Because if you don't take the ace now, they may make extra tricks. Let's count them, okay? On the opening lead, they're going to make now 3 diamonds and 2 hearts of 5 and 2 clubs of 7. And 3 diamonds are 10. So if you don't take that ace of clubs, they're going to make their contract and that's the end of the hand. So it's up to you, defenders, to help your partner. Tell partner how many cards are in your hand when dummy's got no entry. And that is called count. High, doubleton, 2 or 4. Low, 3 or 5. I'm going to put it in the chat, but I think it's in your notes already. High equals, a high card equals 2 cards or 4 cards. And a low card, okay, equals 3 or 5 cards. So we need to know when to take that ace. We need to count. And that's what makes it so exciting. Now they're never going to make the hand. How are they going to make it? They don't have enough tricks. So you take the ace, you come back a heart. You don't want to come back the spade. You might still make the spade. Partner didn't encourage you with the spade. So let's come back a heart. And you can run your diamonds and you're not going to make the contract because we're going to be 1 trick short, everybody. 1 trick short. You hope the hearts break, but they don't. And they're going to throw the club away. And now they're going to play back another heart. They're not going to play the spade. And now their new partner had the spade. They'll come back the 10 of spades. And now they're going to go down. And that's all because you've got to wake up and look at that dummy. You don't blindly come back your partner's suit. You're going to go 2 down. Any questions, everybody?
Well, Linda, when you talk about these, like you just mentioned, the high equals 2 or 4 cards, low equals 3 or 5 cards, is that a like what exactly is that? It's standard.
That is standard. That is standard in bridge. We need to know when there's no entry to dummy, we need to give the count.
Okay.
The count, there are 3 things in defense that we've done in the past. Attitude, high I like, low I don't like. The other is a suit preference signal. If there's a singleton in dummy, you can tell partner what card suit to switch to, and the other one is count, and this is it here. You've got to tell partner when to take that ace. So by playing a low card, she knows she's got to win the second trick. If you don't win the second trick, they're making the hand.
Okay.
So but it's very important that you don't blindly come back partner suit. When you look at that club suit and you've got that ace to control that suit, you must kill that dummy with the king of spades. You must knock out that entry. That is the taxi for all the clubs. If you just come back a heart, they can play the clubs and it's all over. We need to kill that dummy. And that takes me back to our lesson on Tuesday next week. Defense to kill winners. That is our lesson for next week on Tuesday. It will be very interesting for all of you to see a different way of how we can kill winners on defense. Any more questions tonight on any of the other hands? I'm happy to help you.
What level are you playing at with these standard
Defense?
processes? Yes, like when you say, so are these standard processes in more advanced?
These are standard processes at any level. We have to start learning how to defend. Defense is very hard. Okay. And that is why if we don't learn these standard things, attitude, count, suit preference, these are 3 very important things. I've done it in the past. You can actually find it on YouTube where I've done it. Attitudes, count, and suit preference signal. If you go back in the archives, it was in 2023, I think I did it. You can pick it up on YouTube. That's when I did it long ago. And we've got to be able to defend. And if we want to defend well, we've got to know how to do these things. I mean, it's got nothing to do with what level. It's all about learning how to defend.
Okay, so then that's all about learning how to defend.
That's it. It's learning how to defend. It really does not matter of any level. We need to learn how to defend.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions on any of the other hands? I'm happy to discuss with all of you.
I have a question about the high card. So earlier you said high hate, and just right now you said high like. When does it transition over from high like to high hate?
One is when you're playing to an ace when your partner leads a suit. The other is leading. So if your partner leads a card, a high card, that is the time you would give an attitude. High, I like, low, I don't. But when you are leading in the middle of the play and you don't lead an ace, a high card will say, I hate it, but a low card says, I like it. So one is when you're receiving, one is when you're leading. So when you receive, you tell partner attitude, I like it or I don't. When my partner leads an ace in a suit contract or a no trump or whatever it is, and I like it, I give a high card. She's leading. But when I'm playing in the middle of the play and I lead a card and I'm leading, so one is completely different. I'm leading in the middle of the play. Low, I like. High, I hate. Do you get the two different situations?
Yes, I do now
Now,
versus
when you
receiving and
lead,
leading.
right, when you lead, you give an attitude. High, I like. Low, I don't. On the opening lead or of an ace. But when you are playing in the middle of the play and you're returning a card, you always play Boston. Bottom of something, top of nothing. And it works very well.
No, thank you.
Pleasure. Any other questions or any hands you'd like me to go over this evening? I'm free to go over all the hands. Please ask me before we go.
Can you do the
Number
bidding on
10?
hand 11?
11. And what else? There was somebody else that wanted something.
A 10?
10. All right, I'll do 11 now. And we'll go over it. I don't know these, but I'll do it with pleasure. And I heard the 0 to 20 didn't play 11 and 12. So maybe it's good for them to see it. Something went wrong in the setup. All right, so let's look at it. This is number 11. Okay, so South's going to pass. And we're going to open a diamond. When you have a Doubleton club, I never open a Doubleton club. This is the one exception, the 1% time that you will open a diamond on a 3-card suit. This is part of opening the bidding, everybody. This is part of opening the bidding. The only time you will open a 3-card diamond suit, this is the only time, okay? You have to open when you've got 2 4-card majors. You can't help yourself, okay? When you've got 2 4-card majors, 1 diamond, and North will pass.
So
Oh,
Linda,
God, I'm not finished, huh?
I was sitting east. North came in with a 2-club bid.
I don't overcall suits like that. All my overcalls are called suit quality. When I bid at the 2 level, I use what's called suit quality. When I overcall, I guarantee at least 2 of the top honors in a 6-card suit, because I will not bid a 5-card suit in 1 honor. First of all, how do I know I want the club lead when I might want a heart lead? My hearts are better than my clubs, and I'd rather maybe want a heart lead. I might want a spade lead. When I overcall, my suit guarantees at least 2 of the top honors and a 6-card suit. Now, sir, have you been in my lessons before?
Yes.
You remember me teaching you about suit quality?
Yes.
That we add up the length of the suit, which is 5, plus not the points, but the numbers of honors, which is only 1, is 6. That means we cannot bid it at the 2 level. It's got to add up to 8. If it was a 6-card suit and 2 honors, it adds up to 8. We can bid it at the 2 level. So I would not bid 2 clubs, because let me explain to you the situation. You bid 2 clubs on this hand. This hand is going to pass. The next hand's going to pass. They're not invited to the party. And now West is forced to double. That's called a take-out double. Partner, I'm short in clubs. I need you to bid. I can take any suit you like, and you will convert it to penalties. You will pass 2 clubs doubled. And now they're really in trouble. Big trouble. And that's why I don't overcall those suits. So what happened, sir?
So they overcalled with 2 clubs, and then I doubled in east.
You can't double.
And then west at 2 hearts, and then south doubled, and then west came to 2 spades, and then I played in 2 no trump as east.
Oh, it was a disaster.
No, I made it.
You made it. Wow.
Absolutely.
You wangled your way out. Well, don't you think 2 clubs double would have been a better score? I think so.
Yes.
I think so. So looking at this hand, Okay, you cannot make a negative double. You play negative doubles?
Yes.
So your double of 2 clubs says I've got 1 or 2 majors after a 2-level bid.
Right. Okay.
Guaranteed, and you haven't got it. You've got the hand that should pass and let partner reopen with a double.
Got it. Okay.
Now, it's another story altogether. Okay? All right. Okay, so we go on to hand number 10. Let's do number 10. Someone wanted 10?
It was me, Linda.
Okay, I don't mind who it is, as long as we can go over it. All right, I don't know the hand. Right, we're going to open one club. We're going to open one club. Now, I don't know if any of you play this, but there's called the unusual no trump. When you 6-5 or 5-5 in the red suits, the lowest 2 suits. A lot of people like that convention. It's called the unusual over a minor. So if you open a club and we bid 2 no, it shows 5 hearts and 5 diamonds, or 6 hearts and 5 diamonds, or 5 hearts and 6 diamonds. And my points are in the 2 suits. It's not a strong bid. It could be strong or weak, but it's very descriptive. So I'm not sure what they did. I don't want the lead of a heart. I much prefer the lead of a diamond. So I'm not happy to overcall this suit at all. So if I want to get across the 2 suits, I would bid 2 no trump. How did your bidding go over 1 club? Pass? Or did they bid 1 diamond? Diane?
We got to 3 no trump. And
But how did the bidding go?
trying to think. I didn't I
Can
don't
anyone tell me how the bidding went on this hand?
With in our case, I bid 1 club, and West bid 2 diamond.
South.
No, West bid 1 diamond. North doubled.
Hold on, let's go back to North a moment. Sorry, I'm just bidding 1 diamond here. Sorry, 1 diamond.
Yes.
And then they doubled. Okay, so let's talk about what the double means. What does North's double mean? They've bid minors. A double by the North hand guarantees at least 14 high card points, called the indirect seat, and at least 4-4 in the unbid suits, and they don't have 4 hearts. So there's no double. If you want, you can bid a spade. I would bid a spade. I like the lead of a spade, and I would bid a 1 spade. A double guarantees 4 hearts, at least 4 hearts, and at least 4 spades, and at least 14 high card points. Remember, the opener is undisclosed. That king jack of diamond clubs is worth 0 if they really got clubs in the east hand. So a double. Okay, so what happened then? They doubled. I would bid a spade.
And then as East, I bid 3 clubs.
Okay.
And then South bid 3 hearts. And then West bid 3 no trump, and we made it.
Wow.
Went over.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, we're all landing on our feet. Okay. I don't look at it that way. All right. Okay. Well, that's fine. So I'm happy you got there, but it would have been anyway. I was still most probably, I might have still got there, but the clubs behaved very well. And I want to talk about the high card from the short side. A few of you wanted to know why. It's very important that you play the 8 of clubs, that you can stay in your hand on the 8 of clubs. You don't have to put up the ace, you don't have to put up the queen, you don't have to put up the 10, and you don't have to put up the 9. You're looking for the king and the jack. It's a deep finesse. Would you take a deep finesse? And that's the problem. You don't know. You've got 7 opposite 2. If the clubs are 2-2, you're fine. But would you play the 8 and play the 3, or would you play the 8 and play the queen? Well, I've got news for you, everybody. When you're looking at a void in diamonds, don't expect the clubs to break. And therefore, the 8 of clubs is the correct play to play the 3 and hope. Because you must not expect the cards to divide. Once there's a void, don't expect the clubs to divide 2 and 2. But I like that bit of 2 no trump. It's a great bid. You've got an 8-card heart fit. An 8-card heart fit. You lose 2 hearts, a club, a spade, and a diamond. It's not a bad contract, right? If you made 3 no trump.
We went down, so I should have put the bidding on my phone, but I didn't. Okay,
Right.
thank you.
It's a very hard hand to play, but with a void and looking at that void, you know nothing's going to break. I would take a deep finesse in the clubs. I'd play the 8 and duck it. Just because the ace, the queen, the 10, and the 9 are the same. I want to take a double finesse, a deep finesse. If you play a deep finesse, it works very well. If they put up the jack, you put up the queen. They make it too easy for you. Okay, any other questions? None? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
I think on one of the very early hands in defense, you led the ace. And then another hand, you led a low card. So the question is, when do you lead that ace?
Okay, so let's go back to the very first board, okay? I never led an ace on the very first hand. I led a low card because I don't lead aces from spaces.
No, it wasn't. It was in the middle of the hand.
Oh, in the middle of the hand.
Right.
Yes, this is in the middle of the hand. I want to talk about the very first board. I think it was it the first board, or was it, no, it wasn't the first board. It was the number 6, the hand that they wanted me to discuss. In the middle of the hand, they played the ace. Let's talk about why we played an ace in the middle of the hand. This is the hand, and I'm putting it up again. All right? We had no aces, so we led the 3 of hearts. And we won the ace. Now, we don't know whether partner's got the king of hearts or not. So in the middle of the hand, looking at those clubs, which are deadly, we know that everything's going to go on those beautiful clubs. I want to get an attitude signal from my partner. Before I return a heart, I'm going to see if I can get some kind of information from my partner by putting down the ace of spades. Dummy's got nothing in spades, okay? So I put on the ace. And now, if my partner had the king of hearts, I would throw the 2 of spades away and say, partner, don't like it, in the middle of the play. But my partner threw the 7, and I'm looking at the jack and the 10 and the 9 and the 8 in dummy. My partner likes spades. So I'm not coming back a heart. That's in the middle of the play on this hand. Now, if we go back to the other board, which I think is board number 4, and now looking at number 4, I never put down the ace. You want to know why? And I'm going to show you why. Dummy had the queen of clubs. Once Dummy's got the queen of clubs, I can't put down the ace, because if I put down the ace, we can't beat the contract. I might as well underlead my ace and tell partner I like it. I'm going to use Boston in the middle of the play. I want to take 3 club tricks. I don't want to just take 2 club tricks. I want to take 3 to beat the hand. So in this hand, because the queen was in dummy, now if the queen of clubs wasn't in dummy, I would play the ace of clubs and see what my partner gives me, if I knew my partner liked it or didn't like it. And that is the difference between the 2 hands. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, now it makes sense. Thank you.
Good, good. So it's hard to understand, to look at defense. And next week on Tuesday, we're going to learn how to kill winners. And I showed you a little bit today because I made you play the king of spades and kill that dummy that they could never run all those clubs. And we learned about attitude. I like it, on a lead of an honor. Count, low, 3 or 5, high, 2 or 4. We need to know. If dummy's got no entry, we need to know. And suit preference signal, we've done it many times, but we won't go in it tonight. You can look it up in the archives of suit preference signal and we'll be able to pick it up over there. Okay? Right, I want to thank you all. Have a wonderful weekend and I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, everybody.
Thank you, Linda.
Thanks.
Linda.
Have a good weekend.